Welcome, Brookline property lovers. It's Friday, and this is Shira from Brookline Daily Homes. Today, rather than the usual two properties we look at, we will only focus on one property because it raises a lot of interesting issues that will take more time than usual. So, without further ado, let's look at the property. The property is a condominium at 401 Washington Street. It's on the market for $359,000. It has one bedroom, one bath, and a total of four rooms. The four rooms are the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, and this unit does not have a second bedroom, it has a dining room. And it's not configured in a way that's conducive to turning it into an additional bedroom. Um, the unit is on the second floor of a three-floor building. It's on Washington Street, close to Brookline Village, and almost as close to Coolidge Corner. There is the possibility of adding a washer dryer in the unit. There's a place where it could go where it's doable, the owner has determined. There's a laundry in the basement, but the owner actually used the laundromat two doors down. He found that very convenient. It has 885 square feet, which is large for a one bedroom. It has one rented parking spot that is outside the back door of the building. There's an adjacent parking spot, and the rental is $180 a month. The owner has arranged for the parking to be transferable or available to the new owner at that price. First shot is of the living room. You have wood floors, high ceilings, original detail, so some molding on the walls. We have triple windows, as we've seen in some other brick buildings. In the bedroom, similarly, we have the wood floors. These are oak, these floors. We again have triple windows, high ceilings, and molding. Moving on to the dining room, it also has three windows and the same molding, etc. The kitchen is large. There's a new cabinets here with a granite countertop. You've got gas cooking and other white cabinets and white tiles that are not as new, but as we've discussed before, white is classic and is usually the most comfortable type of finish for people who don't want to update a kitchen that's not completely new. We've got only two windows this time, not three, but outside of but next to the second window, we have a door outside to a private deck. The deck is about 5 feet by 10 feet, and it faces more or less south so that you get good light all day. And finally, we have the bathroom, which has original tile on the floor and on the walls, and again, a window, and high ceilings, of course. Now, the broker, who in this case happens to be me, I've frequently in other blogs alluded to the broker doing things, and normally when I say the broker, it's another broker. But since this time it's me, I both want to and am required to identify myself. So um, I've uh, I've had a floor plan done, and it makes it easier to see the graciousness of the apartment as well as why the fourth room is not conducive to being turned into a second bedroom. So we enter over here, and because we've got the closet, the coat closet straight ahead, and a wall here and a wall here, it's enough to give a feeling of a gracious entryway. Yet because it's open here with a wide arch, the living room absorbs that space and feels larger as well. The hallway leads all the way to the bathroom on the left. On the right is the bedroom, 18 by 13, which is a very good sized bedroom with two closets. And then over here we have the dining room, which leads into the kitchen. And then there's a pantry, which is the place that a washer dryer could be situated. There is the balcony, and finally there's the back door. So you can see On the one hand, that you would not be able to turn this into a two-bedroom, but on the other hand, if you wanted a one-bedroom apartment with a dining room, with all large, gracious rooms, well laid out, lots of windows, high ceilings, lots of light, this is just a wonderful floor plan. Okay, let's leave the pictures on the screen and talk about what do we learn from this listing. And the issue that I want to focus on today has nothing to do with the physical characteristics of the unit, nor does it have to do with the structure of the condominium association, but rather it has to do with the fact that I'm the listing agent. When an agent works for a seller, it's their responsibility to focus on the positive attributes of the unit and not to go out of their way to say things that might harm the seller, with a few exceptions. Namely, they have to be honest all the time, and that means if something that they weren't particularly anxious to bring up is asked by the buyer, the answer has to be honest. This unit happens to get a lot of sun. So if, for example, someone were looking at it at night, I would volunteer the fact that this unit gets very sunny. On the other hand, in a dark unit, as a listing agent, if somebody saw it at night, I would not volunteer the fact that the unit is very dark during the day. However, if the buyer said, does the property get a lot of light? I would not be able to say, yes, it does because it's my listing. I would have to answer them honestly and say that it doesn't get a lot of light during the day. It's my job, or any listing agent's job, to disclose any facts that are considered by law to be disclosable. For example, if there's a leak in the property, that is something that needs to be disclosed. So even though it's negative, and even if a buyer doesn't say, is there a leak in the property, it's their responsibility to say, there is a leak in the property. Okay, so if you wanted to see this property, you could call me and I would be very happy to show it to you. I would be required to make a disclosure up front to make sure that you understand that I work for the seller and not for you. If you like a unit and you want to be represented and not be working with someone who represents the seller, then you need to ask an agent to represent you as a buyer's agent and to bring you to the property, and that buyer's agent would protect your interests. There are other aspects of agency, but I believe we've covered the ones that are most germane to my listing. So I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you'll join me again on Monday. From Brookline, this is Shira, your Brookline blogging broker. It's a wrap.